These things, these phones, as we heard earlier, they can just bring down people, governments, corporations. So you've got to be real. It's got to be real. And so we were quite lucky in this, in that in 2007, Facebook was only a couple of years old. It wasn't that big. Things over this last 3 or 4 years for us have really played down the path of having a real story. This is a truck driver that I met. That's in Winslow, Arizona. That was around day 48 of my trip across America, 48 of drinking nothing but juice. And this guy, believe it or not, had the same disease that I had. He's 430 pounds, or a little bit over 200 kilos. And like everybody else, I gave my business card out and said, you want any help, you give me a call, I'll talk you through it, give you a yell. That was December of '07. We got back. As I said earlier, I kept going. I was so excited that by February, March, I was off all meds. I felt that I had discovered something that was just so amazing that you can go and lose 45 kilos, you can get off medication, and it's all about fruits and vegetables. So I'm super pumped and I'm really excited. Our movie was working okay. Wasn't great, was okay. But was on time, on budget. And then I got a phone call from this guy, which you saw me say in that little clip. I've got to get over there and help him. So we got over there. I had no idea what Phil was going to do. No idea. I'm not going to ruin it for you because I'm going to give today every single person in the room a copy of my film to take home. It's not releasing in Australia until later this year, but I'm going to give you one today because I want to say thank you to you because you are the guys that not only saved my life, but you're going to save thousands and millions more once we all get together and really make this happen. I'm in the... So, Phil's journey, Phil was the first guy to follow Joe. Now thousands are following Phil and Joe. And I like that shot. That was in Moab, in Utah. Very cold. So it's all about community for us. Giving people the support, the information, and the tools. And I want to just share with you something I did yesterday. I put up on Facebook, on our page, hey guys, Joe here. If you want to reboot, let us know what day you're on and how long you're going for and how do you feel. Love to hear from you. In the space of 2 hours, I had 54 people out there that are at some stage of their reboot, their program. And really what we're doing, I look at myself as a travel agent. I'm taking people that are off track, on track, very quickly via fruits and vegetables. We get rid of all that crap that's going into the system. We only consume fruits and vegetables, and all of a sudden, within 2 to 3 days, we're on fire. Cravings don't go away, guys. Cravings are going to be there. When I'm rebooting, I walk past a big pizza place or see an ice cream parlor, I still want to go in there because it's a craving, but I'm not hungry. So there's a couple up there. I'm not going to go through all of these, but I thought there was one here that I wanted to show you, that number 2, Jesus Rodriguez. Jesus lives in Albuquerque, sorry. I've been all over America for the last 3 months. Albuquerque, New Mexico. And we screened the film. Now, Jesus has got a profile photo of his face. And I'm pretty sure Jesus has never had a profile photo of his whole body ever. Because Jesus is about that high and equally as wide. And he came up to me. He came up to me after the screening. And he's in tears. And he said, I've got to do this, Joe. I've got to do this. What do I do? I said, mate, you can go and sign up here, buy a juicer. He said, I hardly got any money. I said, well, mate, it's $150. It's an investment. You're going to do this. It's up to you. I mean, I can't tell anyone. We don't tell people what to do. After about a month, he sent me a note and said, Joe, I saved up the money to buy a $150 Breville juicer. Saved it up. Took him a month. He's up there now on day 17. He's feeling good. Every once in a while I feel tired, but all I do is drink some juice and I energize my body. So he's gone from 305 to 284. He's going to do 60 days. We've had, not hundreds, thousands of people in the last 8 weeks start and do this. This is just the list here. Stephanie in the middle there, I heard you on Rosie Radio. Came home, watched the documentary, ordered a juicer, starting the following Wednesday on day 7, down 7 pounds, feeling alert, clear and better than I ate. My boyfriend is doing it with me. So what we've actually, luckily, it was a pure fluke. Trust me, this was not my intention to go out and do this, but it's a pure fluke of media that's actually shows something real, is that all these people in America are juicing and they've never done it before in their life. And now their taste buds have just changed, because what happens when you juice is you reboot yourself so that fruits and vegetables start to look great and taste great. And you don't want to eat the other stuff. You don't want to eat the other junk. That's all there for anyone to see. But rather than letting Facebook have all of the community, we set up our own. So we set up Join the Reboot. And reboot your life, and you can all go there and sign up. You can see we've got an assessment. You can go through. You decide what reboot's right for you, whether it's 5 days of juicing or 5 days of just eating fruits and vegetables if you're frightened of juicing. We've even had the chairman of the PMA, Michael. He did his reboot. How many kilos did you lose, Michael, in the 5 days? Did you do 10 days or 5 days? 10 days, 3.9 kilos. He's wearing a suit he hasn't fitted into since 1988. He's looking good. So it's a little bit more about how we can with our site and what we're trying to do by giving people information, tools, and support. So you can set your profile like Facebook. I'm here at the PMA conference in Brisbane giving a speech. Hope no one has fallen asleep yet. We've got 10,700 members have signed up in just 8 weeks. And I haven't even launched this yet. We've just done a beta launch in the US because we haven't got the wherewithal to go and take on Avatar or Spider-Man 3 or these sorts of movies. So we're going town by town and showing our film. What's quite extraordinary is that only 30,000 people have seen the film and 1/3 have signed up. And over a half of that 10,000 have attempted or been successful at doing a reboot. And the way that we're doing it is by going out onto media channels. No, I haven't got the budget for a marketing spend. So we go out there, we get on press. You heard that woman said she heard me on Rosie Radio, Rosie O'Donnell. And we go out there and we talk and we just inspire people to eat fruits and vegetables. But at the end of the day, what I wanted to say here today was that I'd love for you to think about what you guys are really doing. Because the way I look at you is that you are a health and wellness business. You are providing the energy that we need to live longer, to be happier, to look good, to be there for our families. That's what you're doing. That's the industry you're in. And when I spoke to both Michaels, that's what I was so excited about. I heard the talk speakers before about packaging, and I appreciate all of those nuances, and I understand that from the dollar side. But I just wanted you to take this short period of time just to think that really what you're doing is you're providing life and good life. You're at the forefront of the health and wellness space. And I see you guys in supply and I'm on the demand side. So my job is to work together with you and to really drive the demand here. And later this year, in October, when we launch, because I don't know anyone in America, but I know a few people in Australia, and I'm going to work with my partners at Channel 9, Channel 7, Channel 10 and News Corp, and we're going to try and get this message out as far and wide as we can later this year. What's really interesting about Australia is that the people at Breville, they sell 100,000 juices a year in Australia. You know what they sell in America? A country with 15 times the population of us? Only 200,000. And they're the biggest sellers of juices in the country. So this is something that we are already down the track. It's going to be a lot easier, I think, here to get traction because there's a lot more juices. People out there have got them. I'm sure many people in the room have got them. If you haven't had a juice or one of mine, I'd love you to stop by our booth this afternoon. That's where if you give me a business card, we'll give you a free DVD. We've even got plenty of juice to hand out, and I'm going to be there to talk to you. We're going to have a bit of a juice fest. So what I'd like to do is just finish up. We've got 5 minutes. If anyone's got any questions they'd like to ask me about the reboot, about the movie, about what we're doing, I'm happy to answer any questions. While we're out waiting for our questions, I know they're out there, I just want to talk about the difference between blending and juicing, because I get asked this question quite a lot. When you blend food versus juicing food, what's the difference? And really, when you blend fruits and vegetables, you're actually just outsourcing the chewing to a machine. Because it just puts, effectively, you put mango, you put pineapple, you put apple, you put banana in, and you blend it up. When it hits your stomach down here, the stomach doesn't know whether you chewed it or not. It's got no idea. So it's down there, and in it is. When you juice, you're taking out what we call the insoluble fiber. So anyone who's in the business here of fruits and vegetables would understand insoluble fiber and soluble fiber. With the insoluble fiber out, that fresh micronutrient-rich liquid that hits your stomach is rapidly absorbed, but better still, the enzymes required to break down fiber are not called upon. And when they're not called upon, that's what sends the message to the brain saying that we are on a famine. So we're doing a bit of trickery. We're giving high nutrient dense liquid, but we're actually tricking the body to think that there's a famine on. So big difference between blending and juicing. Are there any questions at all? Yeah, just down the front here. We've got a microphone for you. There we go. Thanks, Mike.
Just a question about you just said just then, I had thought of it earlier, but juicing removes the insoluble fibre, such as like in the skin of the fruit and the vegetable. I was under the impression that that was a very nutrient-rich part of the fruit and the vegetable that you would probably want to be eating.
Yeah.
How do you...
So depending what juicer you're using, most of the juices that are fresh pressed or centrifugal will juice up and take the micronutrients and phytochemicals out of that skin. That's why the juice comes out colourful. There is colour in the juice. Now, if you are only going to juice apples only, remember we talked about earlier, there's a lot of white in apple. You're not going to get that redness in the apple. That's why the apples, that when you juice green apples, that the juice is a slightly shade of green. So it's an off-white. So we're not, what I said earlier, that colour wheel, most of our juices, my favourite juice is putting kale. Does anyone know what kale is? It's like a silver beet, right? So kale, cucumber, celery, apple, ginger, lemon, carrot, beet. Whack it all in. We've just gone the whole colour wheel. So does that answer your question enough? But you're very right in saying that if you take an apple and you slice it open and you leave it on the bench and it goes brown, that's exactly that oxygen doing that effect on the apple that you've got to think about what's going on in your cells. So eating that skin of the apple is absolutely essential. Yeah.
How did your doctor respond once you kicked the habit of all those drugs you were taking, Joe?
Well, he was pretty, I've got to say, he was pretty amazed. What he wasn't amazed about was that the discipline that I had showed, but he was almost saying that, well, that's good, Joe, but not everybody's going to do this. And I actually understand what he meant there. Because when you go in to see your doctor and you've only got that limit of 20 minutes, he can tell you to go and do this, but how many people, as we said earlier, are going to do something when they're being told? They need to be shown. So it wasn't until Professor Penny saw the film that it actually registered with him that the power of the storytelling, the media, of actually showing that medium of people changing. We love these shows like Biggest Loser, American Idol, seeing the person transform into this new healthy you, successful winner. That's what we love to see. So it's incorporating that. It's not telling people. It was the showing that he was most impressed about, and that's what we're most excited about. If I just got up here today and told you all this story, some of you are going to be inspired to juice after watching this. I will tell you now, nearly all of you are going to be inspired to juice after you watch my movie. You will be. You can't help it. You cannot help it. But whether you do it or not is up to you. But I will inspire you, I promise you that. I'm going to inspire